Hello and welcome to another edition of Thursday Thoughts with the Rector. Today is Thursday, May the 13th, 2021. Where does the time go? Today is also the Feast of the Ascension, when we remember Jesus returning to his disciples. And we will celebrate that in our outdoor chapel at 6 p.m. today. Hope you will be able to join us for that. Today I want to talk about agriculture and rest. And I am not a farmer, and nor have I ever played one on TV or otherwise. But I remember lessons from school when I was little in East Tennessee, and growing up and then moving out to Memphis when I was just out of college. And living in Memphis was the first time I ever heard commercials and saw advertisements for seed, right? For soybeans and cotton and some of the other things that are plentiful harvests out in West Tennessee and Eastern Arkansas and Northern Mississippi. Blew my mind, right? I was like, who knew you had to advertise or could advertise for those sorts of things? The Bible also has a number of references to agriculture. Jesus talks about agriculture all in many of his parables and in many of his lessons that he is talking to his disciples and other followers about. The Old Testament, the Hebrew Scripture, tons of agricultural references. It was a very agrarian society, so these were images and understanding that people would have grasped. At least that was the idea. Just after God gives Moses the Ten Commandments in Exodus chapter 20, just below that in Exodus chapter 23, there's a piece in there where God tells Moses to tell the people about harvesting the land and about working the land, and God says, for 6 years you shall harvest, and the seventh year you'll let the land rest. This goes right in line with one of the commandments in the Ten Commandments about Sabbath, that God worked and created the world in 6 days. God worked for 6 days to create the world, and on the seventh day rested. This was a incredibly novel concept to a people who had been enslaved and who probably would have worked 8 days a week if the Egyptian taskmasters would have let them. But it brings up an image and a reminder for us as well that rest is important. That what we do is good and important, but so is stepping back and letting things rest for a little bit. So we're nearing the end of our program year at Christ Church, where some of our regular programs that we've offered throughout the year will take a little break for the summer, which is a time when those who are leading those programs will reevaluate and assess and explore what it is that we will do next and what we will do when we come back into the fall as well. And it's an important time. If we just went from, going and going and going, then we wouldn't have necessarily time to evaluate and time to think, time to pray, time to explore where God might be calling us next, because we'd be so busy with our nose to the grindstone and thinking about what's right in front of us instead of thinking of what's further down the road. We will have a couple of other offerings this summer in June. So watch your email and watch our website and Facebook page for more information about those, including what's going to be a really great class on Sundays in June about that we're doing with St. Paul's Episcopal Church in Wilmington. So we're going to be on Zoom. Their folks, our folks, it's going to be a great collaboration, and I'm really excited about that. And I hope you will join us as well. I also hope that you too will take some time for rest this summer. I have found in conversations with lots of people, not just at Christ Church, but in other places as well, that a lot of us have had a chance to rest our bodies. Maybe our bodies haven't been as busy in the past 14 months, but our minds have been. Our hearts have been weighed down with worry or anxiety or just wondering and playing through all those scenarios in our head. So I hope that you will have time over the course of this summer to to rest your mind and to ponder as little as possible, but also to ponder and look and listen for where God is leading you and where God is calling you. Just because we aren't doing doesn't mean that God isn't doing. And just because we aren't doing doesn't mean that we aren't being. God created humanity and called us human beings, not human doings. So it's okay to just sit and do nothing. My grandmother used to plop down in her recliner and say, "Leave me be." Right? Leave me alone. Just let me be in this chair. And we used to laugh about it. But at the same time, she had the right notion, right? Just to sit and be in God's presence and be aware of what God is doing in this world and in your life and in the lives of those around you. So I hope you'll take that time. I hope you'll be prayerful, but just to be. It's an important thing to do. Take care. God bless. Get your vaccine if you can, and wear your mask in public when you're supposed to. And if you have had your vaccine, I hope you will encourage others to do the same. Have a great day.